and tell. Like, give people a couple minutes to get on.
Oh, okay.
Well, you can say hi.
Oh, hello. Coffee.
Hey, we already have one person on. So, hey, Bill. He says, hey, Darwin, please explain the details of building this particular riser. He can definitely do that a little bit in a couple minutes. Let's let a couple people get on. Are you making coffee?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Alright. So we have a couple people on. We do have some great and exciting news. And I can't wait. Alright.
Alright, who are we?
Alright, go ahead, Darwin. You can say hi and...
Hey guys, how are you doing? It is the Honeydew Carpenter and the always beautiful Mrs. Honeydew Carpenter. This is our Saturday morning live show. And we have some really exciting news. The book is finally out. Yeah, on...
we got it done.
Yeah, for the rocket stove. And we've got some really good... We emailed it out to all the people who pre-ordered it first, and we asked them to go through it. One guy converted it into an audio book and had listened to it, and he said it was fantastic, or I forget his words, but anyways, it's kind of exciting for us, and oh my gosh, yesterday was just a stressful, long day.
Yes.
And getting this out has just been huge. It's been like a 5-year long battle.
And many of you know that. It's
Right.
been a long time.
And I mean, I've been through losing my mental health and a head injury, and then moving up to the property up here, which we knew was a huge risk, because we got in on the initial pilot program that Elon Musk put out for the Starlink, because we had a remote enough location. But that being said, I think it still took us over a year on a waiting list, and so we were up here without internet for a year. We were having to, anytime we wanted, there's this small town of 600 people not far from us, about 7 miles or whatever, and we would have to go down there to the public library just to have internet and manage our Etsy sales and stuff.
If Starlink was not possible, we wouldn't be able to do lives or anything, because the internet that they had pretty much up here was dial-up.
Yeah, there was...
To get to our house.
Well, and we would have had to have trenched in a phone line. Yeah, so it was kind of good timing in that technology where of Starlink just came online right in time for us to move up to this remote property.
Right.
But yeah.
But the book is done. And sorry, we got a phone call.
Right.
But yeah, we're live. Is there anything else you want to say? Real quick?
No.
Or do you want to answer a couple questions?
Yeah, let's answer a couple
Before
questions.
we do a couple questions, I do want to say that we do have a Patreon page up, you guys. It went live last night. There's different tiers to this Patreon account, and I will ask you guys to please go there and help support us so that we're not just like 100% relying on YouTube anymore to bring our income, so that we can still continue to make inventions, that Darwin can still make inventions, and that we can hopefully hold some classes and everything like that. But go check that out.
Yeah, that being said, I totally forgot about that. That's something that Melanie had worked on really hard yesterday. I got home, she was all frazzled. But, but it's not gonna, when you support us on Patreon, you're going to get something for it. There's going to be some rewards. We're going to go up to our off-site shop, and we're going to build several of these rocket stoves in real time. And Melanie's going to film it all, every step of the way. And all the little tips and tricks and nuances that go along with building this. Every week we're going to get on live on Patreon for those Patreon subscribers and go through
a chapter of the book.
A chapter of the book.
Or part of the book.
Each step of the way. And we're going to build several of these in several different configurations. So I'm going to take and convert a normal stove. I'm going to take one of my cores and put in a normal stove and convert a normal, 12 cord year eaten pig into a gazelle, right? As I build these other stoves, I got.
So if you want private access to know before, you can do some link on Patreon, and so if you want those classes, you can join us on Patreon. And then there's also some bigger tiers where you can join for a certain amount a month, and then once a year you can come up for a class.
Right, and here's the deal, guys. I thought I knew what I was getting into when we came up here, but, we had to trench almost 3/4 of a mile, 3,300 and some feet, which, a mile is 5,200 and something feet. So, 2/3 of a mile anyway. We had to trench 2/3 of a mile just to get water in here. And then the excavating and everything, and we just had no idea what it was we were getting into.
Let's say that we're digging those and digging that trench in the hottest part of the year. It was reaching like 111 degrees on our property.
Which was a record, 112-year record, by the way. It doesn't normally get that hot up here.
Right?
Its average temperature in August or July is only
we would
in
get
the
up
90s.
At like 4 a.m. and start doing that work, and try and get as much done before the real hot part of the day.
We had to drive 14 miles and fill a ICB tote full of water and haul our water in from a spring, just from a natural spring coming out of the hill up the canyon. And so, that being said, in order to host classes on our property in physical, we want to first host them on Patreon and generate some revenue. We're going to use that revenue at first to develop, and I'll rent an excavator and I'll level out some campsites. Like around one hydrant or whatever of water, I'll put like half a dozen campsites. And I would also, if we can generate enough revenue, I would like to put a little mezzanine up, with a picnic table and a grill under it or something, so that people that come up to be at these classes, at least at first, have a place to camp.
But right now, if you guys join one of those, it is off-grid. So expect like you're going camping in like Yellowstone.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, just so you know.
We have wildlife.
The first
like
on-site classes that we hold are going to be, you're roughing it. No, you'll have water. We have hydrants from our water system, but you won't have to drive 14 miles and pack your water from a spring.
But I do want to let you guys know that we have the book available in 2 sites right now. One is on Koji, so you can click a link for that, and it'll be under this. After I'm done, I'll make sure it's there. But there's going to be a Koji app that you can buy the book, or you can buy it on our already existing Etsy. Both are good, okay? So Bill was wondering, please explain the details of including this particular heat riser. Well, without getting into huge detail, what are the particulars about this heat riser?
The new heat riser?
Yes.
Okay. Well, the old heat riser, let's talk about it first. And it lasted 3 years. It's very light. If you ever watched any of my older videos, very light. Mm-hmm. And I used water glass infused into an open cell Aircrete mix that I had developed. And open cell just means you can hold a brick of it and pour water and it will filter down through it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that worked really well. But the process of putting it together was about a 30-step process. I mean, you had to roll some wire fabric or mesh into a circle and then sew it into that circle shape. And you had to cut a thick plastic liner to stick in there to so that the Aircrete wouldn't go into the center of the tube. And you had to fill that with sand, which I figured out later because it imploded on me, and Mrs. Honeydew, you know, she's like, why don't you just put sand in there? You know, but you had to do that. And then you had to cut your ring out and bend the tabs over and have a perfect 7 or 8 inch circle to put in. To
This
keep it.
one
I mean,
is way easier.
This
to
one
do. Way.
is just like 3-step. You take a piece of aluminum flashing that you get for like $8 at Home Depot, a 28-inch piece of it, roll it into a 4-inch circle, and I have a class and a video where I go through exactly how to do all this. You roll it into a 4-inch circle, pop rivet it, you stick it in the middle of another tube that's cut to exactly the right height, and then you just mix up the refractory mix using perlite in a specific manner. Okay? When it actually, the water, I won't tell them the specific manner, but when it actually, when it cures off, you want that perlite, and if you put it in a specific manner, it'll create little air voids in all through the refractory mix. Now this refractory mix is insane. When you cure it at 1500 degrees, it's, you know, you have to stage cure it, so you burn it kind of slow and everything. But when you cure it up to 1500 degrees, it has a breaking strength between like 16,900 pounds per square inch and 20,000 pounds per square inch. So even though I'm taking and putting a ton of perlite in it, and I'm reducing that strength way down for the riser because it's a lot less dense, it's still super duper strong. It's awesome. And just that slight insulation differential between the air on the outside inside the downdraft shroud and the hot air coming up just makes it just flew like a beast.
Okay. Beaver Creek Farm Life says greetings from LA. Have any of you guys already received the book? And I would like to know if, not just questions, but is it easy to understand?
Yeah, have you skimmed through it?
Carmen Gale says hi, y'all. Mitch Anthony says good morning. Good morning. Carmen Gale says we are so excited. That's amazing, isn't it, Carmen? We're super excited too. It's been amazing. Chandra Bergen says hello. Well, hi, Chandra. Ken Nelson says hello from Minnesota.
Oh, awesome.
Beaver Creek Farm Life says, when I clicked the link for the book, I got a message saying I needed permission to access the file. Curious if anyone else has gotten this issue or if it is something on my end. It is not on your end. I've had to go in and I've had to click and allow access to certain people, and I don't know exactly why. I'm wondering if it's because the permissions changed from the first time to the second time I sent it out. And then there's about 5 people that it wouldn't let me send because it said I've reached my sharing limit. So I do need to go in and fix that today, and I will, and I might send it to you a different way. Okay?
Right. And that being said, we had to get a special program to zip down the files to upload them and put them on Etsy. And so there shouldn't be any issue with it once you downloading it off of Etsy.
Actually, that's where Julie from Dirt Patch Heaven actually came in and saved the day because I couldn't figure it out and I was stressing super bad and I was having so much trouble. And she came in and with her knowledge and expertise, she was able to help and get that done for us.
And we know that this launch of this book and everything, there's going to be some weeds. You know, I mean, there's. We're not perfect. Well, she is, but I'm not. Anyways, there's going to be some kinks that we have to work out, and we'll get them worked out.
So Beaver Creek Farm Life, that's my plan after this live is to go and figure out those and send to those people that had issues opening it up.
Right.
Thank you for being patient. I'm sorry it's a day late. Moss says hoo-hoo. Woohoo! And Ken Nelson says liked, subscribed, and shared. Oh, Ken, thank you. If you guys can give us a thumbs up, that'd be awesome. And tomorrow we're putting out a video on this rocket stove. So if you guys will keep an eye out for this video and share it tomorrow, I would be so happy.
It's a powerful video because should I tell him kind of what goes on?
Let him be surprised. It's amazing.
It's still going to be a surprise.
Hey says, hi from Virginia. Wait, how do I buy the book via Patreon only? I don't have a link to buy it on Patreon only. I do have 2 different spots you can buy it. One is through Etsy and the other one is through Koji. And they're both really good. And it's just going to be a download. Eventually, we do hope to try and get some money together and have some physical ones printed up.
Right.
But at this time, that's just not anything we can do because we're actually kind of struggling here with everything.
I mean, we built this house for very little money, you know. I mean, relatively speaking, what normal people would build a 1,600 square foot house for. But still, we're just building it as we go and as we get money. And so it's, you know, it is what it is.
Right. So Steve says, hey folks, how's it going? It's going good. Carl says hi from Helsingborg, Sweden. Wow, well hi, that's amazing. Beaver Creek Farm Life says, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel. Yes, he's 100% right. It really does help. He says, howdy y'all. Steve says, I like your hat. Thank you. Well, wait.
Oh, thank
his
you.
hat, probably.
My mossy oak hunting cap.
Tim says, good morning, Darwin and Melanie. Happy Saturday from the wilds of Mesa, Arizona. Your Australian fans pass along their greetings as well, formally from Hopper's Crossing. Tim Fox, thank you so much. That's amazing to hear. Carmen Gale says that's awesome. What are you looking? Are you wanting to talk about that film or what?
What film?
Oh, you're just going to read that?
Well, I was going through our Facebook, which I haven't done forever, you know, because I've just been so busy. And back in 2018, I posted a poem. Somebody made a negative comment, and I guess it hurt my feelers or something. And so, in response to it, I wrote a poem. And I was just thinking it might be a little bit fitting right now. I'm going to read it. Do you care?
Why would I care? Go for it.
Okay.
Go for it. Read it.
Well, I'll just read the whole post. Well, I don't know. Yeah, here we go. Whenever you take the leap and put yourself out there in a public type of forum, whether you're creating or sharing a talent, you take a risk. Critics are out there, yes, but they have no power over you unless you let them. I highly recommend you take the risk. It may be scary, but it is worth it. Recently, I posted a video in response to a negative comment. That's the part where I got my feelings hurt. I posted a response, a poem entitled Putting Yourself Out There. I was inspired by the negative comment, and I wrote this poem on the spot. I would like to share it with you. Here's the entire response. If you spend 5 minutes complaining, you have just wasted 5 minutes. We must all wage an intense lifelong battle against the constant downward pull. If we relax, The bugs and the weeds of negativity will move into our garden and take away everything of value. As we go through life, we all get to choose the lens we look through. Here is an original HDC poem called Putting Yourself Out There. As you are tending to your garden fair, do you ever wonder what others see in there? What is their worldview? What lens are they looking through? Can they see the seeds in the soil fair? Can they imagine the fruit that they will bear? Can they imagine the flowers growing here and there? You can hide it away for none to see and tell your neighbors, this is just for me. A nice tall fence from here to there all around would do the trick. No prying critic's eyes could ever see, and all would be just for me. But if you do decide to share and remove the veil from your garden fair, in very short time you will see the ways of your fellow human beings. The critic's voice will trumpet loud, seeing only weeds they have found. A weed hiding here or there is all they will see in your garden fair, pointing them out as evidence that nothing good will come forth hence. Others see only the fruit and demand their fair share to boot. They pass on by as you were prepping the soil, snubbing their nose as you sweat and toil, thinking nothing of your strife. This is the common law of life. Others, however, you will see are filled with gratitude for you and me, grateful for beauty fair that you have brought to the public square. When they passed by and watched you toil, sweat on your brow all the while, they waved and encouraged with a great big smile. Watching you plant seeds in your garden fair, they could imagine the fruit it would soon bear. During the harvest, they don't think twice. With appreciation, they pay your price. This is the common law of life. Yeah, but I wrote that poem back in November 10th of 2018. And
Wow.
I'm actually, guys, I wrote a bunch of other poems, and basically they got lost. Yeah, some of my other journals that I wrote poems in, and they're gone.
They're long gone. Never to be seen again. Agape Farms Home says, good morning, y'all, from North Central Montana. Wow. Good morning. Bill says, so are you saying the riser is only refractory mix and perlite and no aircrete?
Yeah, and
Yes.
not any refractory mix. It is a VersaFlow 60 Herbison Walker refractory mix. And this is an industrial refractory mix that is typically reserved only for like foundry use. It's what they make crucibles for smelting steel and stuff.
Blaine says he had issues with cracking and using perlite in concrete as agate in the mix.
What's it say? I had some issues with cracking.
Using perlite in concrete.
Oh.
This isn't exactly concrete. It's
No,
a
it's
total
infused with air, and I haven't had. In fact, I use it in small amounts as a curing medium, meaning I pre-wet the perlite, and it sucks in mad amounts of water, and then it's mixed into the mix in small amounts. So you don't even have to put a lot in. But you just want those moisture pockets in there. And then as the Aircrete cures out, it cures out much harder because, I mean, actually the way to cure out concrete the hardest is underwater, you know, so.
John says, hello, good to see you too. Hello, John. Ray says, howdy from Northern WI. Dirtperch having, hey, you made it on. We can put the files in Dropbox. We have a link already made for those who had a hard time getting it downloaded from Koji. The Etsy store and download works for sure. The Koji works really good too. What I had trouble with is the emails I sent out to the people that bought the book years ago that supported us when
Yeah, we sent them.
First started.
We sent them an email, and some of them for them to open that email and view it, it required a type of a permission, and it was something on our end that we didn't do prior to sending it.
Yeah. So, Doreen says, good morning from Northwest Oregon, home of the hillbilly hippies. That's awesome. Beaver Creek Farm Life, we can send you a link from Dropbox that works, no problem. She's correct. We can definitely do that. I was going to do that. Thank you for letting us know that it wasn't working through email delivery. Yes, Julie has been a lifesaver, and she's joined us on this trek and has been helping, and we're a team, and we're doing these sales together.
Julie
Beaver Creek Farm Life says,
has been there right from the beginning.
no problem, no rush, thanks. That's awesome. Thank you, Beaver Creek. Blaine says, oh, that's when I put the heat to the mix. Any thoughts?
Oh,
when it cracks is when he puts the heat to it.
On
the concrete and the pergola.
is he using Aircrete?
I don't know.
Because well, I mean, you also have to treat it with water glass. You know, the my original.
I would suggest, Blaine, that you join the Patreon and you can do the weekly classes and have a one-on-one. It's gonna be classes that are private, that it'll be like a live that you can ask questions and talk and everything.
Yeah.
And then we can get that figured out. Kenny Bean says, hey, hope all is well and awesome release. Thank you, Kenny, for that. We're glad to hear someone liked it. Thank you. My Crypto Pie says, late to the party this morning. Hi, everyone. Well, hi, William. Kenny Bean says, I have to rewatch after the live is over to catch it all again. Yes, go back and watch. And then give us a thumbs up. And then also know that we have an epic movie coming out tomorrow morning, and we want you guys to like and share as much as you can.
Yeah.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah, it's epic.
Yes.
Let me tease it a little bit.
And go for it.
Basically, I cut down a live tree, and it's kind of, Mrs. Honeydew barely got out of the way. It was epic. And then I cut some branches into pieces. And I mean, it's live wood, it's wet, it's heavy. And I just bring it up and burn it in my stove. And you have to watch the video to watch this stuff burn. It is crazy. It's like propane gas coming out of this wood, and as it's gassing off and burning this like torch out the end. It's just kind of weird. This stove does amazing things. Yeah.
And also check out our Patreon account that we have going up, okay? The book is for sale, and it's up in our Etsy store and in our Koji store, and both work great to download. Blaine says, thanks for the answer. Jeff says, I will download soon. Awesome. Great content. Love you guys. Thank you for that, Gideon. That's amazing. Thank you. DOK says, hello from St. George, Utah. Well, hello. I love St. George, Utah. My best friend lives there.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time there.
Blaine says, sorry for disturbing. Blaine, no worries. That's not...
No.
You did not at all. I'm just saying that let's get you a lot more help, and that we can do it there a little bit better.
Right.
That's all, and you weren't. So I'm sorry if I gave you that impression. Dirt Patch Heaven says, we appreciate the questions. Ask more. Some we just won't be able to explain well without the book in hand while he explains it in detail, right?
Right.
And pretty much that's all I was saying. So I'm sorry if I came across wrong, Blaine. Bill says, do you mean the riser and firebox are the same material?
That's what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, they're the same material. Just one, I use perlite in a specific way and mix it in a certain way so that it makes it way less dense.
Yes.
So it's heavy though. The riser is now very heavy, and we burned it for a month in here and took the stove apart and looked at it, and when I say burned it for a month, I mean hard in the middle of an Idaho winter, 24 hours a day for a month. We burned it, and this thing
with negative temperatures.
Yeah, with negative. And when it was below zero and we had that really cold, heavy air out there, this thing pulled so hard. I mean, I had the whole top just glowing red to try and keep up because we don't have insulation. And I just at least wanted to keep it, 50 degrees or 60 degrees. But
I think with insulation, it's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah. Once we get insulation in this place, I think we'll only have to run it a couple hours a day.
Right.
It's just amazing the amount of BTUs that in a little 7x7 burn box
Pam
that
says
you can get out of it.
Howdy, I'm here but late. Hey, you're not late. You arrived just on time.
You know what, Pam? I read a poem earlier. You should go back and check it out.
She was probably here for that. We just didn't get to the comments.
I'm a poet and didn't know it.
Yeah. Wishing everyone a great weekend. Be safe out there. Thank you, Jeremy. Pam says from East Tennessee, or I think that's Tennessee too. Julie says thumbs up, y'all.
So Julie,
yes, algorithms.
With Dirt Patch Heaven or Idaho Family Farm, she's been so awesome, like such a tremendous help to helping us push through the last month to get this book release and everything else. And we are collaborating and co-oping on this thing. And so, you know what? It'll benefit Julie as well. So you guys just know that.
Yes. Dirt Patch Heaven says, thanks for the reminder. Yes, thumbs up helps a lot. Yes. Aircrete panels are the next big project people can come and do workshops with. Yes, she's right.
Yeah.
That is insulation you're putting in, right? Yes. So we're hoping that we can set up a class for May or June, and everyone that wants to can come and learn how to use Aircrete and help build and put Aircrete insulation in.
Yeah. And I mean, it's camping. Other classes that we have, later after we get our house done and our infrastructure in place, we will come and we will be building an Aircrete cabin, a full on Aircrete cabin. And then when we have a number of those up, then people can come and stay in them while we do classes.
Yeah.
But
for if you guys don't want to camp, there are some hotels 10, 15 miles away or something that you would be able to stay into.
12. 7. Plus 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's 2 miles out the other way out of town. 12, 13. Yeah, 14, 15 miles. She's right.
I love her.
Yeah.
Mike says, okay, where is the order link? We have 2 ways you can order. One is Koji, and one is our Etsy shop. So,
and if you watch the video that's coming out at 5 a.m. tomorrow, it'll have the link in it.
Yes. So what I can do is as soon as this is over, I can hit the link. I mean, I can put the links on this video as soon as it's over. And Julie might be able to put it up now. I don't know. But there's going to be a Koji link that you can buy the book and a link that you can go to Etsy store, and the book is for sale in both places. And there will be a Patreon link that if you want to help and support us and get some cool stuff in the process, you can do that also.
Yeah.
Edwin says, I don't know, it's a different language. Pam says, no, I didn't hear the poem. I will go back and watch. Okay, it's a really good poem.
Peru. Edwin's from Peru, and we can't. I'm sorry we can't understand you, Edwin.
He's probably saying hi.
Yeah.
So hi. Mike Deborah says thanks. Thanks for sharing the links. If I put the stove in my schoolie, it would melt like butter. It wouldn't melt your school bus.
We had it in a small cabin off grid on Julie's property in eastern Idaho, you know, where it gets 20 below and stuff. And it's not much bigger than a schoolie. The thing is, dude, you don't have to roar it. It's just, you don't have to put these great, like, I burn logs, like, I burn normal logs in it, man. If it'll fit in a 7-inch by 7-inch square, I just throw them in and I burn normal big logs. But if you have it in a smaller space, you can put a mass ring around it. And then we also have some ideas where we're going to put, like, skin it with granite and stuff around it, the base and stuff. And so you can put some things that hold the heat, and you can just burn it for a half hour with small sticks or whatever, and you end up using almost no wood. You can heat the thing for like nothing, you know. And so just because it's a small space, you can still manage it, this space, real easy with this stove. You can burn it as little or as much as you want. In our instance, where we just happen to be off grid with no insulation in the Rocky Mountains in the middle of winter, we're just using this as an example of, wow, look at the BTUs you can get out of it if you want, you know. But if you want to put it in a smaller space, just put 2 or 3 little sticks in there and burn it, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. But you could do the heat sink battery and have it. Yeah, I think it would be perfect for the little bus if you wanted.
It was perfect for Julie's cabin. She has one in there now too.
So I thank you for putting up links and everything. You guys are awesome. Tim says the Patreon link posted above isn't working. Oh, well, we'll get it fixed. So yeah, she's always right. LOL. Yes.
Who is that dude?
That's a girl.
Oh, that's why.
He's really sweet. Yeah. Pam Cold Chadwell, we had the stove in our tiny little shed with a bench connected, and it stayed 72 degrees, even roaring hot, because the pebbles absorbed the extra heat. Yes, it worked amazing in there. So thank you for sharing that, Julie. John says he needs his toast. I'm sorry. That was really fun.
Oh, yeah?
Pam says, that's amazing, Julie.
I'll bet your mom didn't even like you.
Hi. All right. McGate Farm says, LOL. Beaver Creek Farm Life. I guess he's having trouble putting the link on, and if you are, I'm sorry. Tim says, yes, Edwin is saying, greetings from Peru.
That's good.
Thank you for letting us know what he was saying, Tim. That's awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, so greetings back from Idaho. That's so cool, from Peru. Edwin says, salute from Peru. Awesome. You guys, thank you. Pam says, okay, cool. Jeremy says, by the way, Edwin says, greetings from Peru. Thank you, guys. That's so nice. Everyone helped. Bill says, if you are producing hydrogen, can you pipe it into a generator?
No. Okay, you know, it's a bold statement to say that I'm producing hydrogen in this, which I am, by the way. But you got to understand that it's in a specific containment state and apparatus that allows it to do that. And it's not useful for extracting hydrogen out of water, say for like electrical grid use or different things. It's everything that they've ever tried to extract hydrogen out of water, it ends up being a zero-sum game, meaning the amount of energy that it takes to get the water out, or the hydrogen out of the water, the actual hydrogen that it produces doesn't create any more energy than what it took to extract that energy. And so it's a zero-sum game. That being said, people are like, what makes you think that you are, doing, it's called high temperature steam electrolysis, where you heat steam up to over 2,000 degrees centigrade and it splits off. Well, if you understand a fire triangle, and when those carbon molecules get going so fast and they finally burst, and that's when fire happens, that there's almost a little microscopic little millissplit second solar flash there that happens when that, it's way hot for that little millisecond split. Now, if you mix high temperature steam in with a bunch of those little things going off, it will split out the hydrogen out of a certain percentage of it.
A certain percentage.
Yeah, a certain percentage, not all of it. But what do they say if you have a grease fire? What do you never do? And what will it do if you do it? You never put water on a grease fire. As soon as you do, it'll steam, and that steam will mix with the grease particles, and the grease particles flash point is only like maybe 460 degrees or something small, even though the high temperature steam, its flash point is over 2,000 degrees. It's got all those water molecules mixed in with the grease, and so what? It explodes. Sorry, babe.
It explodes.
It explodes, and that happens. No. And so what's happening when I burn wet wood in there is you put it in there, and the gasification chamber is super hot, and it starts steaming off, and it also is steaming out some of the wood gas. And when the wood gas gets to the back of the stove where it's 1,500, 2,000 degrees, even after it cools off a little bit from putting the wet wood in, it doesn't matter if it's those wood gas molecules are mixed in with a bunch of high temperature steam molecules. They're so hot, they're going to flash, and they take a little bit of and they cause that high temperature steam electrolysis to happen in any of the steam molecules that are around them when it happens. And it is crazy to watch, guys. It's like you look in the back of the stove, and you have these white green solar flares just going off back there, because
it is kind of hard to catch on the camera.
It is. It's kind of hard to catch. You almost have to look at it with the naked eye. But at the same time, you can see a little bit. It doesn't look like a normal fire, even on our phone cameras. But you take like a regular methane or propane or a gas like that has a real low flash point, and you can, or even wood, just watch a piece of wood burn, and that's basically methane, wood gas, it's burning, and you can see the flames and how fast they go. Well, hydrogen burns at 3.5 times the speed, so the flames are just wicked fast. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, but if you are a pyro, like
come on, folks, let's get more likes. Yeah, that's what Beaver Creek Farm. Good job.
So anyway,
if the links in the chats aren't working, we have the links in the description. Yes, the link should be in the description, so thank you. And sorry those links aren't working. It's probably because something I did. Probably blocked them or something. The Darwin thermal battery. Yes, exactly, William. He says, Beaver Creek, I can only like the video once, sir. If then I would hit it more. Right? Yeah. Thanks for hitting that thumbs up, though.
We got sideways snow coming in out there, babe.
Sorry about the link. It is just not cooperating in the chat window. But the link in the description does work. I just signed up. Amazing. Thank you, Beaver Creek Farm Life. You are amazing. And everyone that has helped us is amazing. So thank you. Jim says, how many pages in the book? 150. 50, 60.
I think it's like it was 169. I don't know if Melanie took out a bunch of the stuff around or whatever.
I did.
You did. So it's somewhere between 155 to 160 pages, somewhere in there. It's
my brain is fried.
But it's a lot of it, man. You guys get some just really detailed CAD drawings, and any of the details, I'll put a circle and a detail around it and blow it up, and you get some really detailed CAD drawings. I mean, any tinsmith worth his salt could look at those and just be like, I even detailed out the exact cut list and put the lines with dimensions on a sheet. Yeah. It takes one sheet to build one of these stoves. Of course, if you want the accessories and the outer ring, and you can go to Dirt Patch Heaven's channel and look at what we did when we installed her stove in her house and through the window insert, and you can see the outer ring and the mass containment apparatus that we put on it. And and on Facebook, I think even on at the off-site shop when I was burning it last year, we put some beautification tile around it, and that's on Facebook. I think Julie put that up on Facebook. And you can just get an idea that you can make the stove your own. You can go get tiles and make some clips and stuff and put on it. And, whatever you want. You can make it so the clips, you can slide tiles in and out. And then in the springtime, you could put tiles with flowers on them. And then in the fall, you could put tiles with leaves. And you could just do whatever you want. It'd be fun.
Right.
I think it's fun.
He does. You guys should see him sometimes. He's like a little rocket stove. It's amazing. I love it too. Blaine says it's gasification of the fuel wood that's apart from the torrent of fire. Right? Beaver Creek Farm Life. Are you able to take down one that isn't working that's in the chat? How many pages? Thank you for checking. Okay, I got everything. Kenny Beans. Never mind. Beaver Creek Farm Life says links should not be showing in chat any longer. Awesome. And Jim says thanks. Thank you. Beaver Creek Farm Life Dirt Patch. You may be able to see them because you are a moderator. Awesome. Okay, so Kenny Bean says setup good. Can read or have it read out loud as an audiobook type. That's awesome. Thank you, Kenny.
I want to figure out how to do that.
Right?
Kenny,
I told him about that. He's like, how?
I want to at least, because I'm gonna do another video where I kind of go through and maybe give them the intro and the forward for free for him to go and review it, because that's none of the drawings or anything are in that part, and it will give him an idea, because there's one about the introduction of the book and how best to use this manual, and that's good information. And and then if it's something that you think you're interested in after that, you can go ahead and buy it. But I want to do a video where maybe I have a link in the description below where they can at least get the first couple chapters of the book for that information. And then in that video, I want to show some of the CAD drawings of the specific elements of the stove, and then maybe just kind of outline a few of the steps incrementally. And you know what? We'll show some pictures of during Do Carpenter University, the first one we had for 5 days, of people just like you, with no experience whatsoever, building their stoves. And it was awesome. It was awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
So like Hot 96 says, thought on insulating my conversion van with Aircrete. Yeah, that would work great, I think. Because, just use the panel mesh. Because we strapped a panel on top of a vehicle and drove forever with it. So,
yeah, that would be quite an engineering feat.
It would be fun.
It would be fun, though.
If you're willing to try, I want to know about it. All right, Bill says fantastic explanation. Thank you. Mingate Farm says for the insulation, I would recommend styro aircrete as it is lighter. It might work better a little bit in the bag, a little lighter. Kenny Bean
you know
says,
what? I would recommend styro aircrete as well for a vehicle use. And you know what? You can mix the styrofoam in much greater quantities and kind of make it thicker like a cookie dough and put it into places where if you're pouring straight aircrete, you know, it's like a liquid. It really is. And it would be an engineering feat to build the panels in the certain configurations and the right shapes. But that guy, he's on it. Yeah. I would recommend the styrofoam crete as well.
Also, to let you guys know, the book does have some typos. We're getting some good feedback from you guys, and so we'll go in and fix it probably later this week, and then we'll update it.
It does not. I did those on purpose.
Kenny B, sorry, 155 pages. Somehow the one didn't input. Awesome, thank you, Kenny. So it's 155 pages. Thank you.
Right.
Not says, I'm excited to hear the good news. Expect an order when it goes up. It is up. It is up on Etsy and it's up on Koji. And you can go buy it either place. The links work great. And then you can also join our Patreon page if you would like. And support us that.
And that is going to be fun. Patreon is going to be fun. We're going to get on there live every week. And we're going to go through certain portions of the book. Mm-hmm. And Melanie and I are going to make available certain special videos that we're make as we're building some more stoves. We're going to start building them next week, you know. Mm-hmm. And we're going to just all the little tips and tricks and the nuances and the stuff that you're going to get from being a Patreon member will be worth it. I promise you that.
Someone said perfect. That's awesome. Beaver Creek Farm Life says, I love the rocket sound. Oh, you guys can hear that? That's awesome. Blaine says,
I put that log in and then it started like, whoa.
Right.
It's starting to get hot.
I made rocket stoves out of old tin cans from beans and tuna cans made 15 feet. Thanks for the information. The flames made like 15, right?
Yeah.
Pyro?
So,
you have fun with Darwin.
Yeah, it's cool.
Jim says, okay, 155. Yeah, so I guess it has 155 pages. Do you have anybody in the deep south with humidity that has got the rocket stove to work? Beaver Creek Farm Life, I think.
No. So, yeah.
I don't know.
We did have someone deep south. South Carolina or North Carolina? Where is Lori?
I don't remember.
I can't remember it. I think it's South Carolina. But she came to our class and, you know, I forget the comment, but it was something like, she goes, I just feel like I have like a $5,000 stove because I do or something. So the humidity doesn't affect it. In fact, guys, we are in what's called a river drainage. 3 forks of the Clearwater River come together right below us here. The humidity is off the chain here compared to like eastern Idaho where we came from and the high desert. It's effectively like zero over there, the humidity. It's very, very dry, heat or cold whenever you're there. And here, it's completely different. You almost don't have to put lotion on your skin unless it's wintertime and you're burning this stove all the time. Then Mrs. Honeydew has to put some lotion on. But
Blaine says, Beaver Creek, that sound is amazing. It is amazing. I actually love to hear it all the time. Dirt Patch says, so tomorrow is the first Patreon live stream. Sunday, 3 p.m. Mountain Time.
Right. And
yes.
it's the first one. Obviously, we aren't up on site in our off-site shop where all my sheet metal equipment is, you know, and so that first live stream, it's going to be more of a test and just to say howdy do to the new people and members who have come on Patreon and whatnot, because it's something we've never done before. We don't know anything about it, but we're excited about it, and we're excited about being able to just take people step by step through the book, and even people that, you know, aren't sure they want to take the leap and get the book right now, they could get on, and then as we go through those chapters, you know, even if they don't have to follow along stuff, they're going to go, oh man, I got to get that. I promise you, it has hundreds of detailed drawings and illustrations from Do Carpenter University, where normal people came around from, you know, I mean, they came from Tennessee and Oklahoma and South Carolina and Canada and Alaska. They came from all over, and just people just like you guys that with no experience were able to build these. It's amazing.
Mississippi. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Beaver Creek Farms says, I have not put a stove online yet. I was waiting for the book to be finished. I planned to, but it was not urgent here because of our test. All right.
Oh.
So thank you for that. All right. So we are at 56 minutes. I think that's good for today. So anyone that wants to join us tomorrow on our Patreon, go sign up for that.
Right.
And other than that, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you guys later.
Love you guys.